In this video, I'm going to be giving you 2 ways to break out of the food addiction loop and just your habits in general, to hold yourself accountable to actually heal and change your diet, because that's the one thing we're constantly putting in our bodies multiple times a day for decades and decades. So this is what's causing this internal dis-ease, right? This sickness, okay? So the first way, this is the cheaper option, is to just sign up for a class, sign up for a yoga class, sign up for a boxing class, get an accountability partner, get a coach, right? You can even just text a friend like, hey, let's text each other's meals every single day, right? Because when you have to text your meals to someone, you're less likely to want to eat, the crap that you're not supposed to eat, okay? And as far as a class, when you have a yoga class in the morning the next day, you're way less likely to just want to stay up late and eat something that's going to inflame your body and just deplete your energy levels. You start prioritizing your future self more, okay? You want to be feeling good. You start thinking of, okay, what can I eat today that's going to have me feeling light and energized for this yoga class or the boxing class or even a running club tomorrow, okay? So this forces you to just get in that mindset of perceiving from your future self, how do I want to be feeling in the future, and not just looking at it as right now. What do I want right now, okay? Because our present self, I'm all about being in the present, but our present self always wants the fried foods, the junk food, the chips. Okay, it's just 5 to 10 minutes of stimulation and then you're back feeling like shit on the couch, okay? Now, the second option, this is a more expensive option, but if you have the resources, I highly recommend you do so. So this option is to just take a trip somewhere, preferably the tropics, a beach, okay, somewhere peaceful, okay, not really in the city where it's a lot of restaurants and stuff. Just go to the tropics, to the beach where there's fruit stands, okay? And what this does is just force you to get out of that habit loop and just this same old routine you've been in your apartment or your house at home, okay? Because when we're living in our apartment or a house, we're in this just routine loop. We wake up, we kind of do the same things, we're only exposed to the same things, eating the same stuff in our fridge, right? It's harder to make an initial change. It's harder to make a big change, when our bodies are so used to this, so comfortable in this pattern loop, right? Our nervous system runs off of familiarity and comfort and just like repetition, okay? So it's harder to break your eating habits and get out of your addiction loops of just being stagnant and scrolling and not doing much in your house. But it's way easier to do this when you go travel somewhere else, right? It's like you're in a whole new reality. You're breaking all of these loops and cycles you've been in. You're waking up in a whole new place. You're sleeping in a new place. You're getting different mental downloads in because you're in a whole new environment, whole new energy, right? You have more gratitude for this life because now you've expanded your perspective, because it's really easy to just stay in our one little box, in our routine, and kind of forget about the whole world. And you can be nourished more off of the beauty, the paradise, especially the fresh fruits, okay? These fresh fruits, because if you're in the United States, 80% of our fruit is just getting imported from the tropics. So getting that first-hand experience of fresh tropical fruit, you have to eat less of it because it's so much more powerful, it's so much more fresh, so much more life force energy in it, okay? And just having the abundance of fruit, way easier to just eat healthy and just eat fruit all day. You're in the sun, forces you to be in the sun. No one wants to be in the sun when they're eating all this heavy cooked food and snacks and stuff like that, right? I highly recommend getting a small little room, a little studio room, so you just want to be outside when you're on that vacation as well. So these are 2 tips that help me tremendously break the addiction loop and just routine of staying stagnant and doing the same things every day, and kind of expand my perspective, expand and intensify my gratitude for this life and realize how abundant it is. And just, you know, we don't have to stay stuck in these loops that we're in, and we can go put ourselves in different situations, sign up for different organizations, classes, activities, even a pottery class, you know. So these are all super, super useful for changing your reality, right? Taking action and changing your reality and creating a support system to hold yourself accountable to just change, right? Because healing is holistic, right? You can't just say, oh, I'm gonna change my diet. It's like, it's not as easy as that. You kind of got to change your whole way of living. That's why I don't see, you know, the way I eat as a diet. It's more of a lifestyle, okay? So I hope this video brought you massive value, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.